there, welcome to the Soul Sister channel. My name is Kat and I am here with your July 2021 astrological forecast. I am an accredited astrologer of over 25 years. I am a spiritual life coach and a tarot reader. What my little gig is all about is using astrology as a tool to learn to identify energy and then learn how to work with it consciously so that we can create the life we want. So to get started today, we are going to get started by becoming balanced and aligned and connected with our higher selves by taking 3 deep cleansing breaths. Let's take the first one. On this first deep cleansing breath, we're releasing all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our physical etheric bodies. Second breath. On this second breath, we're releasing all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our emotional astral bodies. And one more. On this third deep cleansing breath, we're releasing all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our mental bodies, both higher and lower. Now we visualize all the darkness, all the negativity flowing right out of our bodies, flowing back to wherever it came from. And in its place, we are being filled with this incredible white light that fills our entire body. And then it goes out and forms a protective bubble around us. And this bubble, which is made up of white light, love, and the will to good, deflects all evil, low vibration. It's deflecting all negativity right back to where it came from. And while we are in this space, we are going to say our Cancer affirmation, as above, so below. The entire universe is contained within me. And from that space, I grow and glow. We're going to say the affirmation together, and we're going to sit in this space of white light connected with our higher self for 5 seconds. Let's do it now. We'll say it together. As above, so below. So below. The entire universe is contained within me. And from that space, I grow and glow. Wonderful. In the season of Jupiter retrograde in Pisces and Neptune retrograde in Pisces, these are the energies that support our connection with our higher self, not only developing that relationship, but then learning to grow that relationship. And so that our connection with our higher self becomes a routine for us. And it is in that space, hint, hint, where we're going to find our answers. It's in that space where we can consciously create the life we want. So, to get started with this wonderful month of July, the first place we have to start is with the overhanging energy, not only of this month, but of the entire year. This energy is not even going to be gone and out of aspect until 2023. It is big stuff. The story starts back at the winter solstice back in 2020, where Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct in Aquarius. This was the start, the official start of the age of Aquarius. What that means is we are having a 2,000-year shift in cycles. We're moving from an energy of Pisces into the energy of Aquarius. The energy of Aquarius is very group-oriented, very innovative, very unique, very technology-based. And it's all about including the whole and working for the whole. And so we have this energy that really started to come in intensely at the winter solstice. we have had an aspect of Saturn in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus. And this puppy is going all the way through, like I said, 2023. And this basically is the conflict, astrologically speaking, of the old versus the new. It's kind of like, as a collective, we are either breaking down or we're going to break through. And we can see this energy not only within ourselves, but through the entire world, as this struggle and this real conflict continues between the status quo, keeping to tradition, keeping everything the same, and then moving to a more evolved, more inclusive energy, an energy of service. These two energies are going to be in conflict for a while, and we are going to see it play out in the outer world, especially in our politics as we are right now, the old conflicting with the new. So we can see how it is that energy is working in the outer world. In our inner world, it's all about reinventing ourselves so that we can adequately address these new inpouring energies. Some of us have to reinvent ourselves completely. I'm one of those people. I had to reinvent myself completely. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm going to tell you what, when you, as a side note, when you finally get out of your safety and security of the status quo and decide to take a risk on yourself on something completely new and different, and you follow your bliss, I'm going to tell you what, every obstacle, every challenge is worth it. You might want to think about that, because that's what this energy is all about too, that this conflict between the old and the new is making us very uncomfortable with certain parts of ourselves that are outmoded and need to be balanced and aligned and evolved and brought into this new energy. Okay? Overhanging energy for our whole 2021 story. Chapter 2. Now we move into retrograde season. Retrogrades are when a planet looks like it's moving backwards in the sky due to its elliptical orbit. Not really true, it's an optical illusion, but energetically, retrogrades means it's time to review, realign, reinvent, release. So, we've moved forward in these planetary cycles so far. Now it's time to stop, review, see where we are with this energy, and see how we can bring these energies into more balance and alignment so that we can be happier, right? So, all right, so we've got that going on. Not only do we have that going on, we have 4 planets retrograde. We have Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. We have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. We have Jupiter retrograde in Pisces. And we have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. This is a month of a lot. We have conflicting, not really conflicting, they're working together. But this energy that I'm talking about now is very introspective. I've been talking about it representing the skeletons in our closet that we need to bring out and take a look at so that we can heal them or release them or balance them or harmonize them. Oh, you ask, what do these skeletons look like? Well, let's talk about that. Saturn retrograde. What does that look like? Where haven't we been taking responsibility? Where haven't we been performing our duty and our obligation? What duties of ours have we been shirking? We know what they are. So this is a chance to take a look at that and make some readjustments and accept the responsibility that we need to so that we can have a more balanced life. Then we have Pluto. Pluto retrograde. Well, Pluto's all about power. Pluto's working with us, trying to show us where we have given our power away to others and where we need, of course, to get it back and bring it back. Life is lived from the inside out. That is the keynote of this station. All power comes from within. Anyone that uses power over us to manipulate and control us, that we give our power to them, they manipulate and control us, whether that is in a personal relationship with our partner or our spouse, whether that is with a family member or a particular friend, whether that is in our job or with our boss or our coworker. Where have we given our power away? Where are we allowing others to control and manipulate us? Whew, having hard to get time getting that out. It's really important that we take our power back, because Pluto is a little guy, but he packs a powerful punch. So if we don't do our work in taking our power back, outer events will force us to take a look at it again. Don't really want to go there. Pluto, if it's an outer event, it's going to be pretty ugly, and we're going to be put in a corner, and so we know what the right answer is. So let's kind of do it proactively so we don't have to handle that situation that comes up. Then we have Neptune in Pisces that just went retrograde. Neptune is all about our spirituality. That's one of the main reasons, that is one of the main reasons, besides the sun being in Cancer, that we are using the Cancer affirmation of being connected with our higher self, because it is the energy of the higher self, and that energy is really supportive right now to go inside and develop and grow a relationship with that part of ourself. We call it the higher self, we call it spirit, we call it the soul, but what it is us. We are such incredible beings that not all our energy can fit into this physical vessel, because it would blow it up. So what happens when we come to Earth, we get as much energy as we can, but then we have to learn to develop this connection with our higher self, with the rest of our energy, so that we can bring that energy in and learn to use it consciously. And what that looks like, that becomes like our intuition when we are using our wisdom. That's what our connection with our higher self is like. So that's what we're developing this month and this season. I mean, Neptune's going to be retrograde in Pisces all the way till December 2nd. So we do have some time to work on developing this relationship with our higher self. Finally, we have Jupiter retrograde in Pisces at the very last days of this month, July 28th. It's going to move out of Pisces into Aquarius, still retrograde, still looking like it's going backwards. Jupiter is so much fun. He's big, he's jolly, he's Santa Claus. Hey, have some of this, have some more. Let's have some fun. And now he's retrograde, and that isn't all that bad, because you just can't keep a good Jupiter down too far. So it's like Jupiter is in our closet now with all our skeletons, and he's like, hey, oh, okay, you got a little Neptunian skeleton over here? Oh, you got some addictions? Oh, yeah, because that's Neptunian too, retrograde. Addictions, escapism. Yeah, so, what can we do with that? How can we heal that? How can we make an opportunity out of that? That's what Jupiter says. And Jupiter's all about, hey, let's get in touch with our higher self. Let's grow that, because we can really get moving if we got that energy moving. So we have Jupiter. He's in there. He's kind of stirring it up for us. So helping us to take a look sooner than maybe we wanted to. Darn it, to those of us who want to procrastinate on taking our skeletons out of the closet. So we are going to be working on that not only all month, but these planets don't start going direct again until October. It is the season of the retrogrades. retrogrades, it is a season for us to be introspective, to go within, develop that relationship with our higher self, and really get to know ourselves and what's keeping us back for being the happiest we ever have been. And that's what this is all about. Jupiter is in there. Come on. I mean, we got all these little skeletons. They've been keeping us from following our bliss. Let's look at that. What is our bliss? Let's go get it. That's what Jupiter wants us to do. So that's the energy that we have this conflict, and the skeletons they're in there, and we're like, hey, we've got this conflicting old new energy. So it's like, hey, let's find a different way to balance that, a new way, a more inclusive way, a way that's more based on love, based on abundance, based on a gratitude instead of fear. So we have these great opportunities in front of us in the next couple of months. It does require self-discipline, and spiritual life is always self-discipline. So we always are self-directed, and we have to take Saturn retrograde responsibility for our spiritual self, our spiritual life. So we also have the heaviness out of the way. We have Venus in Leo, and we have the Sun in Cancer. Oh my gosh, this month is going to be so romantic. So while we have to do all this introspective work, we also have this wonderful energy that it's there to start a new love affair, to fall in love, to make new friends. It's there for self-expression, for us to express our love to those in our lives that are so special to us. So we're creative. Now, with Venus in Leo, though, we like to give, right? We give to our partner, we give to our lover, we give to our spouse, our friends. But with Venus in Leo, we're like looking for like some kickback. Come on, I did this for you. Can't you recognize, acknowledge me? And if we don't get that little feedback, kickback, we might become a little dramatic, and we might be like, oh, I did all this for you, and you aren't doing anything for me. You don't love me. Oh, come on, get over it. This is about giving. Let's come from love, abundance, and gratitude. If we are happy with who we are inside, we don't need the outer world to acknowledge us, to recognize us. It's nice, but don't put expectations on those that we are giving to, because when we do that, that's called strings, and that's not giving. When we give to someone, it has to be completely free, no strings attached, or it doesn't count. So remember that if you feel ourselves going down the path of whining and crying because nobody loves us, because nobody's paying attention to us or acknowledging us, A, it's just the energy, and B, why are we doing that? What are we afraid of? Okay, take a look at that. All right, well, I'm going to go through now, before we get to our advice, I want to go through each of the elements and give you a little snapshot of what to look forward to. So let's start with all my fire signs, all my Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. That's me. Okay, July, we're fire, okay? This is all introspective work. The only good news for us at the beginning of this month, fire signs, is we can really get into our lover. We can really get into our partner. We are really real passionate, and we want to give them attention. We want to express our love to them. But as far as getting anywhere, as far as we're like, come on, let's go. We are going to be very frustrated because we're not going anywhere until until the end of the month, the last couple of days, when the planetary energy shifts, and then it goes from like 0 to 100,000 degrees. Now we're good. Now we're like, oh yeah, let's go. And it's like, be careful to us Sagittarius. We are so enthusiastic, we could overwhelm our little sensitive water signs, okay? So don't run roughshod over anyone at the end of July. So spend the month. We know we have to stop and take a detour. We can't just rush forward into the future. We're going to stop. We're going to take a review. We're going to look inside, see what we need to adjust inside. What do we need to balance? What do we need to release? And then when we have done our work at the end of the month, we are being so ready to go. And life might be presenting us opportunities. And just be careful not to go crazy over everyone, because not everyone has the high energy that we do. We kind of like could smother them or something. So enjoy, work hard, okay? And if we work hard this month, we'll get our payout at the end of the month. Next, we move to our earth signs. That's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We are just, this whole first part of the month, earth signs, we're just trying to keep everything under control and organized and in their place. Things keep getting scattered. Things just keep getting out of our control. We're trying to keep everything, in control and logic and moving forward at a state, and it's just not, stuff is just getting screwed up everywhere. It's just, we have to keep redoing things. Also, not only in the outer world, but this is going on in our inner world as well. So our thoughts and emotions are out of whack. I mean, listen, this is all deep emotional stuff, okay? This first part of the month, and we're practical. We don't have time for emotions. Don't cry to me. We need to get this done. I need to keep this organized, but our emotions and thoughts, they're out of whack too. They're just getting scattered, and we're having trying to keep those under control too. But I have noted here that energy changes around July the 21st, where more of earth energy comes into the picture and helps us get things under control and maintained. So like the fire signs, we have to just hang in there and stay balanced through the first part of the month until we get to 21st, and then we can feel a little bit more safe and secure. Air signs. Okay, you are my Gemini, Libras, and Aquariuses. Okay. Emotions, come on. I mean, we spend our time, we work everything out, right? We figure things out. These emotions, they just don't make sense, do they? I mean, if you're sad, do something to make you happy. If you don't like your relationship, just leave it. I mean, if you don't like where you live, move, right? I mean, what's the big deal, right? So here we are, air signs. We're in this deep emotional stuff, and it's our own stuff. It defies our reason, and we are like losing it. It's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Why don't these emotions make sense? Why am I feeling this now? It's not making any sense at all. Okay. Don't try to figure it out. Just hold tight, ride the wave. Know that we're in this deep emotional energy that our brains are not real comfortable with. So we are going to look at what comes up for us, and we are going to look at it objectively, but we're going to hang like everyone else. We're hanging tight. We're doing our work. We're staying centered. And then At the end of the month again, there's a lot of energy shifts at the very end of July. At that time, then things will start to make sense for us. So just hang in there, ride that emotional wave, and just know by the end of the month, things will make a little bit more sense and we'll be able to figure our emotions out a little bit better. And then we end with our water signs. This is your month, I'm going to tell you what. Water signs are my Cancer, my Scorpios, and my Pisces. Okay, it's an emotional month, and we are emotional beings. Let's talk about our emotions. We might become a little overwhelmed with our emotions because the energy is so intense. It's great for us, especially water signs. It's great for us to do some deep diving, some introspection, especially for us to get in touch with our higher selves and develop that relationship. Make sure we're centering daily and taking time out for that. Especially for us, this could be very dangerous because, like I said earlier, Neptune is the energy of addictions and escapism as well. So we have a tendency, if we are fearful, to protect ourselves. We escape if we don't want to deal with reality. I mean, the best way to escape is to check in with your higher self. But we escape through addictions, through drugs, through alcohol, through our work. We also, with that negative Neptunian energy, we could be telling ourselves little stories, little fables. We may be deluding ourselves. So for us, especially water signs, this is a really powerful energy, but we have to make sure that we are staying centered because it can overwhelm us and take us right into the emotional abyss of all our fears, all of our failings, all of our unworthiness if we're not careful. Of course, those are all lies we tell ourselves. Those are all fables we tell ourselves anyway. So that is our month of July. Let's see. Let's get a little advice from the universe for all of us about this July energy of really checking in with our emotions, of really being introspective, of looking within ourselves to try to determine why we feel unworthy, why we're coming from fear, why we drink a case of beer every night, why we stay at work until midnight. We need to get to the bottom of these questions because if we don't balance and align and heal these parts of ourselves, we're going to have a very difficult time making it with this Aquarian age, this Aquarian energy coming in. The other thing, before I do the cards, I do want to warn us, all of us, especially the first part of July, and unfortunately over the 4th of July. The energy is between the old and the new, is intensified because of other planetary connections going on at that time. There may be violence, and I'm really concerned about that. So especially, you should always come from love, abundance, and gratitude, but especially these first few days of July. Remember to be kind to everyone, to remember to honor everyone, and even though you don't agree with someone, honor their opinion. You don't have to agree with it. We are in very difficult times, but also very transformative times. But this conflict is looking really violent at the beginning of July, and it concerns me. I mean, not only just political violence, but people, we're getting all drunked up and then we're shooting off fireworks and we're hurting ourselves, things like that too. So just be careful. For those of us in the United States and celebrating our independence, let's do it responsibly, please. Okay. And to finish up, messages from the guides. Flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. Wow, that's a good starting point. Wombat spirit, be at home. Bobcat spirit, life is a mystery. Okay, spirit is kind of confirming, kinda. Thank you. Sometimes spirit like completely says something different. But for the month of July, we are embracing the in-between. That's our higher self. That's in this space where we connect to that part of us that's greater than what we are conscious of in our physical bodies. Embrace it, use it, become one with it. That way, we are at home with who we are. Be at home with me, with us. All this introspection is just for us to really see what incredible beings we are, for us to start to change, to do anything. We have to start with being in love with ourselves. And especially with Venus in Leo this month, let's fall in love with ourselves too. We're pretty incredible. Come on, we are. We are amazing beings. Be at home with self this month. And life is a mystery. We don't know what's ahead. Sometimes we can't see. Sometimes everything is so out of whack. But if we develop that relationship with the higher self, with our higher self, we can learn how to remain centered and at peace and let all that outer stuff fly around. Take us to whatever mystery you have for us next. We're ready because we are protected and supported by ourselves. That part of ourselves that is greater than we are. Thank you so much for joining me for our July astrological forecast. If you like what you see today, please like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. It supports me and the channel. Come visit me on Facebook. I'm at Soul Sister Cat. I do daily inspirational messages as well as some interesting memes. And remember, everyone, this is the keynote for the Soul Sister channel. Life is lived from the inside out. Have a great July. Happy deep diving. Namaste.